Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I'm going to put everyone on mute now so that we can go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, please send me an instant message. I'll do my best to get to it in the Q&A section towards the end of this webinar. You can also direct your questions directly to us on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, you should be, and we will answer your question very quick. Just use the hashtag Top5Tips. If you're just new to Twitter, the hashtag looks like the number sign, or the pound sign, if you will, and Top5, the number 5 tips all together, and we will answer your questions accordingly via Twitter. As I've mentioned already, we are recording this webinar for future screencast, and for those of you who did register for this live event, you will receive an email with the link to download this so that you can watch this over and over and over and over and okay, I think you get my point, until it sinks in. And that's the great thing about it. This is not really a sales presentation. This is pretty much a nuts and bolts training that will teach you 5 golden techniques that you'll be able to use in your business today, as in right now. So I'm very pleased to be hosting this event with my very good longtime friend, Owen. Owen and I have been friends for years. We go way back. We clicked almost instantaneously. Was that business friendship we all have. Had the unique opportunity to re-collaborate. Is that a word? I just created it, if not. With Owen, we hung out together in September out in San Diego for Social Fresh West. He filled in did a cameo for our video side of things. The video buzz, if you will. And it's just been a very, very exciting time to reunite with an old friend and be able to dive right into helping each other's businesses grow, and most importantly, help you get educated about everything you need to know, whether it's video, whether it's digital marketing, whatever the case may be. So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sebastian Rusk. I am the creator of Buzz and founder of SocialBuzzTV.com. We are an integrated marketing solution. We help brands and businesses create their digital strategy through social media. I also cameo as a host, professional speaker, MC, and creator of Buzz. I wear bow ties. People pay me to do so, and they take me seriously. So it's real great to be with you guys. Learn more about me on my press kit at Seb Rusk. That's SEBRUSK. And check us out, all of our whereabouts and what's happening on SocialBuzzTV.com. Enough about me. Let's get back into what we're here to do today, and that is look at the top 5 marketing techniques for small and local businesses. These techniques will absolutely change the way you're doing business. Now, if your goal is lead generation, and I mean fresh names of real potential customers who are asking you for more information about what you do for a living, then you're going to want to really take some detailed notes and take them well. So this way you can reference back. It's always good. Not all of us can read all the notes we ever take, but sometimes it's good to have that stationery always handy. Not the laptop, not the iPhone, not the Android, the good old-fashioned pad and paper. So let's bring out my good friend Owen of Simple Business Video Marketing, a guy who I know and love. Owen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Sebastian, and thank you for that awesome introduction. Everybody, Sebastian is an amazing friend, an amazing business person, and I highly recommend that you check his stuff out at SocialBuzzTV.com. They're always doing something neat, something fun, and I respect him. I respect him a lot. Welcome to the call. My name is Owen Hemsath. I'm the president of Simple Business Video Marketing. And my background is in marketing. I've worked B2B since I was a kid, even selling maintenance services to local business people when I was 11. You know, they would hire me to run around and do errands for them and water lawns and you name it. I moved from selling things to marketing things about 10 years ago. I realized that salespeople needed advertisements and they needed promotional materials in order to generate leads. And doing that, I've worked for major corporations. I've even worked for celebrities. In Orange County, I built a lead generation company from scratch. That's where I met Sebastian. We did mortgage leads and home improvement leads. Since then, I've entered into the film arena. I went back to school to study film. I've now combined filmmaking and marketing together. And some of my films have been seen worldwide. I've even won a few awards. Now, my company provides a variety of services, but we specialize in making video for lead generation. We apply video to web design, landing pages, social media, and overall using video to get you more customers. So please check us out on the web and follow us on Facebook and Twitter as soon as you can, because we post great content all the time. You don't want to miss it. So if you're on the computer now, just go and find us and follow us. While you're on Twitter, please leave us a question or feedback at hashtag top5tips. Just put that at the beginning or end of your question or statement, and we'll see you and respond as best we can. We also would like to hear your feedback. And keep in mind, you might get retweeted or you might get replied to from us or from someone else on this call, and that's part of the community that we're trying to build here. If you want to get a hold of me personally, find me at SimpleBizVid or at Owen Hemsath. I do not outsource my social media, so if you're looking to reach me personally, this is a great way to do so. Tweeting me is literally more effective than texting me, and it's available to all of you. Okay? Everyone get that? Then let's dig in. I want to start by saying that I'm a real huge advocate of the local business. Sometimes we say small business, but what we really mean is a business that operates on a human level, a company with maybe 1 to 25 employees, a company whose owner is in plain sight and who responds to the marketplace. My wife and I, we try to buy local every chance we get, from buying our vegetables to getting our oil changed. And that's why I've made this webinar, is to hopefully give some of you out there an edge against your much larger, much more well-funded, much more national competing brands. Here's what I found, though, working with business owners. I found that a major roadblock for many small business owners and small companies is a total lack of strategy. Many of us small business owners operate on a level of satisfying immediate and emotional wants and needs. You know, I want my website to have this, or I need my videos to look like that. I call this the "cause I wanna" mindset, because when I ask my clients why they want a purple flower on their logo, or why they want a page in their website to do this or that, they say, "cause I wanna." And they tell me that without taking into consideration at all the brand, the voice, the message, and so on. So what's happening is decisions are being made, but there isn't a cohesive strategy that drives those decisions towards a predetermined goal. So here's what's happening. You have a website, you have a Facebook, maybe you have a Twitter, but you don't have enough leads coming from those sources. Maybe not any leads at all. Your Facebook's not generating leads, your website's not generating leads, and your Twitter's not generating leads, and so on and so on and so on. So what we're going to do today is direct your attention away from the "cause I wanna" strategy and instead focus on strategies that can actually do something for you. I'm going to show you how to generate fresh leads every day of new people who want more information from you. In fact, they will be begging for it, asking you to help them with their problem. And after you set up the initial assets, the rest is totally automated. So it's going to be a huge tool for you. So let's start with a fundamental understanding of the marketplace. Let's say that this target board represents your entire marketplace, where you've got really 5 levels of prospects here, but only 4 that we're going to concern ourselves with. Okay, the white area are those people who have no foreseeable need for your product or service, but over time and as circumstances change, they will at some point have a need for your services. You know, everyone will need your product or service at some point. And when they enter into that and they become aware that they'll need your service, they enter into the black realm where they're aware that at some point they're going to need you. Now, over time, they will start to have a stronger need for you. And this is where they enter into the research phase. And in this level, this is the information gathering stage. The prospect is aware that your service could one day solve their problem, so they begin to research what's out there. They begin personality testing. Do I like this site? Do I like that site? Is the website cool? Is the Facebook cool? So on and so forth. What they're looking for here essentially is someone to learn from, someone who can teach them, someone to follow or to join a fan page. Now, most of this level is topical, but what the client is looking for is competence. They're saying to themselves, do I feel competent enough to hire someone competent? So here you have to find a way to get their attention before they leave your site. Now, as they start to feel more competent, they start to compare. They're almost ready to buy, but now that they feel more educated, now what they're doing is comparing apples to apples. They've been researching, and now they're comparing services, they're comparing prices and styles and so on and so forth. And this is where you need to have a unique selling position, something about you that stands out. And finally, they become a hot lead. And that's once they've analyzed the heck out of you and your competitors, they are in a position to where they're going to buy from the first great offer or tipping point offer that comes their way. So essentially what you've got to be able to do is have a marketing campaign that hits a targeted prospect at every level in the sales process, at every level in the arch. So let's apply some numbers to this model and see how that looks. Let's say that there's 100,000 people in your area that are aware of their need for your product or service, and they're making their way through the arch. And only 1% of that 100,000 person demographic, only 1% actually makes it to a hot lead. Okay, well that means that you have a marketplace of 1,000 well-qualified, educated, hot buyers that you can develop content for. And let's say you only close 1% of them. Well, that is 10 new customers every single month. Of course, the reality is that these odds are much higher since your marketplace is actually much bigger than 100,000, especially if you're national or if you're in an e-commerce business, in which case you might be looking at, 30 new customers a month and so on and so forth. And it is true that some people will move through this faster or slower than others, but this is essentially the path that they will take. So what you've got to do is to create a system of web properties that are loaded with impression assets and that lead them to engagement assets. Or in other words, you've got to have features on the web that catch the attention of a person on any stage in this journey and that leads them to a form of interaction with your company. And here's how we do that. Step 1, capture lead data. The best way to grab the attention of potential clients is to provide them with free content that has a very high perceived value and is hyper-specific to their needs. Now, the offer should be compelling and it needs to be content-based, something that will help them solve their problem and yet come to a greater understanding of who you are and why your company is the best choice. It should have a catchy title and draw them in, and it should be downloadable. Now, it cannot be made available to the public, or in other words, the offer must only be accessible through a sign-up form where the client gives you a name and an email in exchange for the content. A video series, a webinar, an ebook, white papers, and such are the most popular examples, with ebooks being the most popular, but video having the highest conversion rates. Now, once you've traded that content for a name and email, you've actually created a win-win with the client that results in a fresh lead for you who has given you permission to contact them with content that they want. Now, initially, you're going to start with one offer, but many of you don't only offer one service, isn't that right? Many of you offer a variety of services. So as you grow, you'll want to expand your offers to reach a variety of prospects. And you can do that by targeting keywords and targeting the needs of your demographic. Now, here are just a few examples of what an offer might look like. If you're a lawyer that fights tickets, or if you have a driving school, you might want to offer a 90-day video course on California traffic law. If you're in the health and wellness industry, you might want to offer 12 steps to losing that holiday flab. If you're in the financial business, you might want to offer a free DVD on how to plan for retirement in 3 easy steps. You could do the same thing for college planning. If you're in the self-defense industry or MMA or karate, you might want to offer, 10 tips to easy self-defense. If you're in the home improvement business, you might want to go with everything you need to know before remodeling your home, a video ebook, made just for you. Now, you could do this with flooring, windows, carpeting, the roofing, the whole nine. So there really is no end to the types of offers that you can produce. And I always start with my keywords and my products and ask myself, what products do I provide and what keywords am I targeting? And then try to build an offer around that. But another great strategy for coming up with an offer is to repurpose your existing content. Now, here's a basic flow chart for a repurposing strategy, but you can also work backwards by taking the information that's already on your blog site and on your web pages and compiling that information and adding to that information before converting it into a video series or an ebook. Now, you'll have to trim some things here and add to some things there, but that's what repurposing is. Repurposing is not using something identically over and over and over again. It's starting with making, writing 10 articles on your topic or specialty, and then converting those into shorter blogs where the blogs don't have all the information that the articles have. And in the blog you might have, a couple paragraphs that have a link, hey, for more information, download my articles here, or so on and so forth. And those become a video series. Those become an ebook that eventually develops into a speaking engagement, and so on and so forth. So what kind of offer can you come up with on the top of your head right now? It might take a little bit of a paradigm shift, but once you get a few ideas, the rest are easy. You may want to think about, if you were looking for you, what would you want to know? And then make that into a video series or an ebook. If you have an idea right now, I want you to post it on Twitter and apply the hashtag top5tips and get some feedback. Let other people comment on it, or you can send me a direct message and I'll give you some feedback of my own. Now, once you have a solid offer, it's time now for step 2, which is to develop your lead nurture system. So in step 1, you developed a compelling offer that a prospect wants. Now it's time to send them a series of follow-up emails that both promote your company, but also provide additional value to them as the reader. So once they sign up for your campaign, they'll immediately receive an email with the offer attached to it, or a download link embedded in the email. And then they'll receive an email once a week or twice a week for 90 to 120 days. These emails are sent automatically, and after you program or make these emails the first time, you don't have to do it again, and I'll show you how to do that in step 3, which is the automation step. So what's this sign-up form thing that I keep talking about anyway? Let's take a look at that. The sign-up form is a form on your website that allows your customers to sign up for your offer. The form should ask for only the information that you need to effectively market to them, and you ought to view each field as a cost, where the more fields that you add, the higher the cost is to the viewer, and that means that the higher it costs to the viewer, the less likely they are to purchase, or the less likely they are to move forward. And keep in mind, I'm using an analogy here. This really doesn't cost anything. But when you put the phone number field in there, you're adding a huge cost to your opt-in box, and that is where you're going to lose a lot of prospects. So if you're not going to call these people, then you don't need a phone number right away. Typically, first name, last name, and email are all that I require, but some companies may want to ask a question like, what company do you work for now? Or which product are you most interested in, and stuff like that. And that's okay. The sign-up form box is the gateway to the rest of the campaign, and that's why it plays such a vital role. Now, once your prospect fills out the box, they're signing up for your offer, and they'll receive an instant email with the offer attached to it, and then they become a part of your lead nurturing program, where we will nurture them into a buyer. So a lead nurture campaign is a campaign that's designed to move your prospect through the sales process. That's the arch that we talked about, and closer to the bullseye where they're a hot lead. Now, here's what that might look like. You'll want to give yourself at least 90 days so that you have enough marketing out there to measure your results, but 120 days is even better. That's 4 months of marketing. In that time, you'll want to send 1 new email per week and possibly a follow-up email every other week or so, just to follow up and get feedback, that sort of thing. You'll first create and write these emails in a Word document before copying and pasting them into your email system, which I'll show you in the next step. You can start developing these emails by first writing a top 10 list of why a buyer should choose you over your competitor. Then you would develop each of those 10 bullet points into its own email. Now, half of those should be video emails because video decreases your unsubscribe rate and because video provides a sales or educational message in a very concise manner. Video is also more engaging and keeps people on your website longer. Best practices teach us that your videos should be sales neutral or at least have a very soft sales message. Really, they should be just educational or informational so that your prospect sees a lot of value out of those. And then your text email could be more heavily about sales and moving the prospect to buy. So here's what a video email looks like. The subject line should say something engaging for sure and something that encourages a click, but the body of the email should have a high-resolution graphic or text banner like you see here. Then you need a strong headline or engagement statement, followed by a summary, and then a quick call to action to watch the video. Now, we place a picture of the video with a play button in the center of it, so it looks like the video is right there in the email. And when the lead clicks on the video, they are either taken to YouTube or to your website. Obviously, sending the viewer to YouTube is a little easier, but you don't have any control over that interface. So the viewer will be subject to third-party advertisements, competitor videos, and perhaps some distracting or inappropriate videos. So viewing on a custom website page is always preferred. Now, at the bottom of each email is a call to engage personally. See, we want to make sure that the lead has a way to purchase or set an appointment with you at every stage in the game. Now, your text emails are much simpler. They should still include an engaging headline along with a strong introductory paragraph, but the text should be spaced out so that it's easy to scroll through. And you've got to include links that capture their attention and lead them to more content or an offer or just to email you back. Now, these links are how you measure the success of the email through your CTR or click-through rate. These links will provide you with a better understanding of what offers your prospects prefer and what emails are moving them into action. So if you put together 10 emails, for example, and you find that your prospects are only really clicking through on emails 2, 4, 7, and 8, then those tell you that you've got really strong emails there, but the rest need to be improved upon. And now you can go back through those non-performing emails and make them more like your top-performing emails. And that's why your click-through rate is so important, because your click-through rate is how you're going to measure your success. This is a graph from a HubSpot webinar that looks at the science of timing your emails. This data clearly illustrates the value of your most recent subscribers here. So your first few emails should be your most effective, but the data also shows a spike in user activity every 30 days or so, culminating in a huge spike around 90 days. So that's why you want to experiment with a 90 to 120 day campaign that sends 1 to 2 emails per week. So now that you have an offer in place to gather new leads and a content strategy to nurture those leads, you're ready to build an automated infrastructure through which your entire campaign will be run and tracked. If the steps that I've mentioned up to this point have been, a little overwhelming, and I know they can be, then you'll really want to hear the next step, because now we're going to talk about automation and how to make this a self-propelling system. Now, your offer should be your primary focus because that's the hook that's going to draw them in. And then your email nurture system should be your secondary focus because that's what's going to nurture them to sale. The sign-up form box, the automatic emails, the list generation, and all of that will be handled from a third-party email marketing company, which makes it so much easier for you, and that's what makes it automated, and that allows you to scale your marketing. Now, this list shows some of the biggest names in the industry in no particular order. They all work relatively the same, although they do have different features and different costs. After moving from Aweber to Constant Contact, we found that iContact has the best features for the best price and that it's very simple and user-friendly. Now, we need to be using a system that's not only good for us as a company, but that's also good for our clients should they ever want to handle their marketing in-house. iContact starts at only $9 a month and goes up from there, but we have a special offer in place for the webinar where you can try it for free. Just type in the link there or check your email for the link. We posted it in there too. Let's take a look at what total automation means. Automation in this sense is literally the automatic process of delivering an offer, capturing leads, nurturing those leads, and closing to sale, all from a standpoint of non-involvement from you, the business owner. Once you set everything up, you let the system work for you so that your job becomes building your business and answering only the emails and phone calls of interested parties. Now, here I've posted all the steps involved with automating your process, along with the tip to avoid double sign-up forms or double opt-ins. A double opt-in is when a viewer signs up for your program and then they receive a confirmation email asking them to sign up again or to confirm their sign up. Now, you're going to lose prospects this way. I have, so don't do it. One opt-in is enough. So what I'm going to do now is walk you through the process of automating your system using iContact. The first thing you want to do is sign into your account and click on Contacts. Then click the link that says Create a List. Here, you'll enter in your list name and list description. For example, if this list will be used to gather data from your website landing page, then you may want to name your list Website Landing Page List. I also recommend typing in a description because once you have a lot of lists going, the clarity will be very helpful. Once you save your list, that's it. You'll be directed back to the main list page, and your next move will be to create a sign-up form. Now, after walking through a couple basic steps which are not important, they're going to ask you the color and that sort of thing. It's not important. You'll be asked to connect your form to a list, and this is very important. And it's important that you only choose one list, because if you choose two, then the viewer will have to pick which list they want, and in most cases, you'll confuse them, so they're going to terminate the sign-up form. They're going to terminate their opt-in. So if you're making a list for your landing page leads, just add them to the landing page list. You know, don't add them to your landing page list and your newsletter list and your yearly update list. Just avoid all of that. Now, after you connect the list, you'll be asked to select the fields you want and in what order. And by fields, I mean first name, last name, you know, the first name field and so on and so forth. You'll also decide which fields are required fields. When you're done there, you'll click Save, and then you're back to the sign-up forms main page. From here, you'll click View HTML, and you'll be able to see what the sign-up form will look like. You'll also be able to copy and paste the code, which you can either import directly into your website, or you can give it to a designer, and they can make it kind of stand out for you. Now, here's an example of a finalized sign-up form, which is also called an opt-in form. You've got a headline here that summarizes the offer. You only have the fields that you need, and you've got a submit button that contrasts the rest of the box. We also call that a call to action. The sign-up form box is the hinge, okay, that joins together your internal marketing system to your external prospects. It's essential that you have a decent and functional sign-up form box on all of your offers. So now here's what you look like. You've got one or maybe two lists, one for your Facebook landing page and one for your website landing page. Two lists that are each connected to a separate sign-up form, both of which are rooted together in your Contact Manager software. It's neat, it's organized, and it's functional, and it's moving on its own. Once it's all set up, you don't have to mess with it anymore. The next step then is to copy and paste your pre-written, pre-designed emails into your database. Now, most all the software, whether it's iContact or Aweber or Constant Contact, most of that all comes with with email templates that you can use, and you can edit them to brand your company and put pictures in and stuff like that. Or if you have a web designer, you can just use HTML and copy and paste the code. This step here is less about design and more about programming the day and time you want the emails to go out. This is a very easy step, and it should only take a few minutes. So first, you'd go to your main list page and click Add Welcome Message to the list that you want to start creating emails for. And that's how you'd create your first email. The email should have an offer attached to it or through a download link, so that when the viewer opts in, the first email they get is the offer they were signing up for. Don't make them wait. You will lose all validity. Then what you'll do is click on Create an Autoresponder and click Add Message. And here you'll simply make a series of emails that will come according to a day and time of your choosing. Typically, they should come 1 week at a time, where a video email is delivered once per week and a text email is delivered every other week starting on the first week. Once you've programmed your emails, you've completed the foundation of your automated system, and now it's time to wrap up with integration and promotion. Integration means to literally integrate your sign-up form into your existing web properties, i.e. your home page, into a landing page and your Facebook page, and so on. You can see here how I first started by creating a graphic ad for my offer and placed it on my homepage as a clickable link. Now, whenever someone visits my site, they'll see my offer right there on the homepage. When that graphic is clicked, it takes you to a landing page. Now, a landing page, the term landing page gets thrown around a lot, but for today's purposes, and really for all purposes, a landing page is a web page that is designed to capture lead data. Now, there are a lot of specific points to a landing page that should be adhered to, and a good landing page strategy, one that is based on offers and one that is optimized for keywords, will put you miles ahead of your competition. You see here, I have a strong title, a relevant picture, which is actually a video, no external navigation, and some bullet points at the end here. On this page, the viewer can watch the video and sign up for my offer, or they can X out of the page. There are no other options for them to navigate here. It's literally the end of the funnel. Now, a good landing page strategy is what separates the good from the great, and you really should be focused on these 8 points when you develop your landing page. You can also do a Google search and look for other landing pages that you like, and check them out and study them before you design your own page. So here's another example of a good landing page, and this is a HubSpot landing page. You can see they have a strong headline, a summary, a relevant graphic, and a sign-up form. HubSpot also includes their social media links, which I don't personally use, but they seem to like it a lot. These aren't external links; these are share links, which have a lot of value to them. Right now, we're not experimenting with that. We keep it very simple. So step 2 of integration is to integrate into your Facebook page. Now here's a look at my Facebook page, and here's a look at my custom links down at the bottom. These links are totally customizable, and when you click them, they will direct you to a landing page that you can design. Clicking on the custom button takes you to a custom landing page where all the major landing page strategy assets are present. Now, this sign-up form is linked to a separate sign-up form from the website landing page, and that way I can track my data from the website separately than my data from the Facebook page, which is going to be really good for my analytics, so I know which is more effective. And this is a huge part of your strategy. I can't stress enough how important it is to have landing pages, and especially Facebook landing pages. Now, as a note, you do need a third-party application in order to design your own Facebook page. This isn't available within the Facebook interface, and there's actually a lot of resources for this kind of thing, but we work with a group called the Social Networking Academy because they have an app that is so stupid simple you really can't mess it up. It's designed for absolute beginners, so we recommend that you go get it on your own. Now, if you work with us, you don't need to get it because we already have it, but if you plan on doing this internally, you will need a third-party app, so you can copy the link below and check it out. I think we also sent this to you in your email. They do have a free resource and a paid resource with more. I think with the paid resource, you can do more pages. Lastly, you will need a thank you page or a confirmation page. And this is a simple page that is set up to let your new leads know that their order was processed and to connect them to additional information like your social media page or, a company highlight reel, which is what we have here. Here's another look at a thank you page from HubSpot with all the same characteristics in place. Finally, now that all your assets are in place, you can start promoting your offer. Here is a list of some basic but highly effective promotion strategies. Emailing your database, your social media, business cards, etc. Really, you can use any means you can think of to promote your offer. These are just a few. But the first thing you should do is send an email to your existing database with a summary of your new offer and an invitation to your landing page with the link. It is a well-known fact that it's much easier to sell your existing clients than it is to sell a new client. So start with a simple email to your existing database first and start driving traffic and creating some buzz that way. Now, when I talk about a Facebook distribution strategy or a Facebook or social media marketplace strategy, an image strategy is very important. Having a series of images that you can post on the Facebook interface will greatly enhance your visibility, because a picture takes up more space than a couple of sentences. And beyond that, most people are scrolling Facebook for images. So you've got to be real calculating with your image strategy. Now, with this strategy, you'll create an image. Notice it's the same image that I use on my homepage, and you'll post that image on your timeline, but you'll also share it on other timelines as well. This is really easy for B2B. If you're selling to consumers, it's not quite as easy. You'll have to post on their timelines from your personal account, but you can still do it. You want to make sure the image is 403 pixels squared, and that you should post this around 3 to 5 times per day for a week or so, and then after that, maybe twice per day for a while. And you can automate that with a program like Hootsuite or TweetDeck or something like that. Don't worry about oversaturating your fan base. You know, a lot of you guys are saying, wow, 3 to 5 times a day, people are going to get annoyed. Not really. Chances are they won't even see it but once or twice. And you need to keep posting to keep hitting new viewers. So we recommend a very strong Facebook image strategy that includes, you know, a timeline cover photo, custom buttons, Facebook images like this, and of course a meme strategy. Now, Twitter is also essential to your social media broadcasting plan. Twitter hashtags are an incredibly effective way to gather new business, because businesses can interact directly with consumers. You can't do that on Facebook. Now, I could do a whole training on Twitter by itself, and we will have one coming out soon. But a hashtag is something you really need to learn how to use. And a hashtag is more or less a keyword that groups together a collection of thoughts or a collection of tweets. A hashtag is indicated by the pound sign or number sign in front of the word or phrase. So, and there's no spaces. You can't do 2 words. So if you want to promote your offer on Twitter, you might tweet something like, learn everything about home remodeling with our new video course. Hashtag flooring, hashtag contractors, hashtag home remodel, and then post a link to the landing page. And this way, anyone that's on Twitter that's searching for things like flooring or contractors or home remodel would hopefully see this tweet in their newsfeed. Now, to find out what people are searching for, because it may not be searching for flooring, they might be searching for new carpet, you know, hashtag new carpet. So what you want to do is discover which hashtags are right for your preferred marketplace. To discover which hashtags people are actually searching for, you can do that right from Twitter. And the first thing you want to do is click on Discover and type in a search term with a hashtag. In this example, I search for the hashtag video marketing, and then I see what comes up, and my own company pops up, but a lot of other companies, you know, pop up as well. And beneath that, you'll see the live feed where tweets are coming in with that hashtag as they happen. But you can also, another technique is to just go to the bottom left hand of the page and take a look at trends. And this will show you what the trending tweets are. And you can use some of those, even if they're not related to your business. You might want to use them creatively. And we call that newsjacking, to take what's already popular or what someone else is making popular and use it to your own advantage. Business cards are another great way to promote your offer at networking meetings and while you're out and about. I see people handing out business cards all the time, and really all it is, it's a calling card. It's when you're ready, when you're already a hot lead and you've already done the research and you've already compared and you've already decided that I'm your guy, call me. You know, and rarely do people use their business cards as a lead generation tool, and that's really what it should be. Now, I've seen some business cards that say things like, on the back of the card, it will say, like, you know, sign up here to set your appointment and things like that. And there's some issues with that. I mean, it's really ambitious, first of all, to think that you're going to go meet somebody and they're going to want to just set an appointment with you right there. It's also kind of odd to think that you've been, you know, nurturing this person with follow-up calls. And when you set your appointment, you're going to use a business card and not, you know, your Outlook or Google Calendar or something like that. So, you know, I get rid of all that. Use a QR code, and something with a QR code like this black barcode here, anyone can scan that barcode with their smartphone and be taken directly to a landing page, and you can even optimize that landing page for mobile. So you want to put together your offer and promote it on your business card. Here's an example. You know, here's how to lose the flab and look so fab. And, I just thought it was a fun title. But you scan the barcode and you go right to a landing page. And there are lots and lots of other ways to promote your offer, but get started with emailing your existing database and then posting on Facebook 3 to 5 times a day and then tweeting your offer 10 times a day, and you'll see how effective this lead strategy is to your practice. And again, you can use tools like Hootsuite and like TweetDeck to automate all that posting, because I know you're thinking, wow, 3 to 5 times a day on Facebook and then 10 times a day on Twitter. And I actually recommend more like 20 times a day, but it really depends on the size of your fan base. That seems like a lot. I don't have time for that. Well, you're right. You don't have time for that. But what you want to do is spend maybe 2 hours writing down a collection of tweets and posts, and then another 2 hours the next day programming them into Hootsuite. And so now you've spent 4 hours on the weekend over 2 days. It's programmed, and it goes automatically for the rest of the month. So you can't beat that kind of automation. So in conclusion, let's take a look at the process we covered today from the prospect's perspective. And the reason I want to do that is because you're kind of building this system all scatterbrained. You're starting with the offer and then the lead nurture program, but then you're automating and you're kind of bouncing around from the way the customer will experience it. So let's run an example using Joe, and let's pretend that Joe needs to find a CPA. So here's Joe, and Joe's aware that he needs a CPA. So he's in that first level of awareness. And so what he's going to do now is he's going to start searching and comparing different vendors on the web. And he's going to look on the web for things like H&R Block and 1040EZ and Tax Professional in San Diego and so on and so forth. And in his searching, he finds your landing page. And Joe likes that you have a cool landing page with the free video series called 10 Things Every Taxpayer Should Know About Getting a Bigger Tax Return, right? I'm doing my taxes. I want to pay as little as possible, maybe get some money back. That's the kind of title, that's the kind of secrets, the tips I want to know. So Joe opts into your offer and he immediately gets an email with links to the video series. Over the next few weeks, he starts to get more emails that help him feel more confident about his taxes, and he also learns that hiring a CPA will actually help him increase the amount of his tax return. So finally, Joe decides, after getting an email from you that offers a workshop or some huge discount or some other tipping point promotion, that Joe is finally ready to email you back, and that's when he becomes a client. So it's really straightforward. It's really push button. There's some work initially that needs to be done to develop an offer and to get that automation in place. And I know it might seem like a lot. So let's wrap up by taking a look at how I can help you. First off, my time as a consultant is valued around $99 per hour. But you can always reach me on my social media feeds and by using the hashtag Top5Tips. There is probably a lot of you on this call right now that are excited about the information, are excited about this kind of strategy and technique, and probably want to get started on the program, generating some fresh hot leads starting tomorrow. But if you're like most people, then you would probably need to outsource most of the work because you don't have the time to implement the process, or because frankly you're trained in other areas and you don't want to do this kind of stuff. Hey, both of those make perfect sense to me because after all, you've got a business to run. Well, my company practically invented this system, and we can create and implement this entire process for you in just a few short weeks. We'll consult with you to develop a great offer. We'll write all the content. We'll film all the videos, and we'll professionally edit them with lower thirds, graphics, and music. We even have a group of actors who are professional actors that we can use in your videos so that you don't have to memorize lines and be put in front of the camera. Our use of actors also means that we can produce this package for any company anywhere in the US. We have this system down so tight, we don't even need to be in the same state. And we've done work for companies in New York and New Jersey, just to name a few. Now, we'll create all the emails. We'll program the autoresponder, and we'll create all the landing pages, and we'll even do a month of Facebook posting for you to get this thing off the ground. Now, it will take us a few short weeks to get this thing up and running. It might take you a few months the first time. So we want you to look at this offer as kind of like training wheels to help getting you started. In total, we'll actually give you our super autoresponder package, which is our autoresponder package only with the upgraded enhanced fixtures. It basically comes with everything that you see here, everything that we covered in this webinar today. We didn't leave anything out, and as a matter of fact, we actually threw a couple things in that we didn't really discuss here, like a custom website or a custom video for your Facebook landing page. Should be a little bit different than your main landing page. We throw in an error page and some things like that that will just are going to make you look spectacularly phenomenal. So we typically close this type of account for around $7,500, and we amortize that over around 4 months, 3 months for the entire package that you see here. But as part of this webinar, we're going to offer something very special. We're going to build the whole package for you from bottom up for only $3,500. And that's a huge, huge savings of $4,000. And here's why we're doing that. This webinar cost me very little to produce. There were no postcards to send, no sales calls, no follow-up calls, no meetings, etc. And all of those costs add up. So while most of you probably could afford the full price anyway, the reduced cost opens up the market to some other companies that maybe don't have the same kind of budget that you have, and it also allows us to begin a relationship with you that won't break the bank. So here's another our final advantage, and that's we'll break down the cost for you over a 16-week time period. And because a program like this doesn't get built overnight, it does take a little bit of time. And we found that this takes around 90 to 120 days to get done. Sometimes a little bit longer, depending on if you want a new website built or if you want us to remodel your old website, and how much work we need to do on your Facebook page. Maybe you want some enhanced features. But we can get you started for just $1,000 out of your pocket and only $500 per month for 4 months. There's no finance charge or anything like that. There's no long, monotonous contracts, although we do have a 1 or 2 page contract. It's just a fair deal. All we need is a signature from you. We'll set an appointment to develop your content, and we can get you started. You don't have to wait. All you have to do to take advantage of the offer is respond to the email that you received in your inbox. Just reply to me and say, I want to get started, or email me at the address on your screen here. You can always call us at the office directly. You'll either get a hold of me or my assistant. Either way, she can get you to me. So with that, I guess we can close up and go to some questions. Sebastian, back to you.
Okay, awesome. Well, we want to thank you, Owen, for your time today. That 5-point process is just locked down tight and effective. I see successful organizations using this system all over the place, and you've captured it in a very simple, easy to navigate way, and that's obviously always the best course of action when trying to digest this information. Now let's go to some questions. We only have time for a few, so I'm going to take the biggest question, and then we'll post the rest on the Twitter feed with, as we discussed before, #top5 tips. First question is from Jill of Healthway, and she asks, which is better, an ebook or a video?
Thank you, Jill. There's 2 different ways to answer that question. Now, an ebook is statistically shown to be the most effective at converting a viewer into a lead, meaning of all the people that go to your landing page, all things being equal, if you have an ebook, you're going to get more that will fulfill the sign-up form and go all the way with it. Now, the other side of it is that videos are more effective at converting those leads to sale because video gives you a more succinct, more direct message. Now, beyond that, you can host your videos privately on YouTube, and you can track the analytics. So you can see when people turned off the video. You can see when they, you could put in annotations and see what other videos they clicked onto next, and annotations like a link in your video. So, there's a lot of value to video too, and you got to ask yourself what you're going for. Is it opt-ins or is it sales? And your opt-ins are your way to your sales. So I'm not going to tell you which way to go, but I am going to say that an ebook is the most popular, but a video is more effective for lead conversion. And so my recommendation is to find a way to do an ebook with a video supplement.
Next question from Anthony of Pregnancy Resource Center. Anthony asks, does the call to action have to be free, or can it be a purchase or donation? Anthony, are you a nonprofit? Okay, great question.
Really great, Anthony, to hear a nonprofit on the line. All too often, nonprofits are run like nonprofits and not run like businesses. The most successful nonprofits out there do run their charity like a business, and so it's really important. Now, what you're asking me is, does the call to action have to be free? I think what you're really asking me is, does the offer have to be free? And yeah, the offer needs to be free. Now, for a nonprofit like yourself, you're helping women in pregnancy situations. What you'll want to do is create a content-based offer that informs, educates, and empowers your donor base. And a good way to do that is to create an ebook, or to create a back end, join our back end, our private Facebook group, by submitting your name and email here, that sort of thing. And that could work across the board. Now, does your call to action, can it be a purchase? Absolutely. You can send emails that the emails have a call to action in there to donate. But what you really want to do is create offers that reach different segments of your donor base, whether it's to reach the women who might come to you, the families that might come to you, or to reach the donors that would support you financially.
Here's another great question. Can I import my existing database into Constant Contact and start sending my offer out?
No, you cannot. You cannot. I mean, you physically, technically can, but that you're spamming at that point. You can't just take your existing database and then throw it into Constant Contact and start emailing them an offer. What you can do, it's just not couth. It's not proper. And so what you can do though is email that existing database and say, hey, I've got this new offer and I'd like you to try it out. And that's a really good idea. So, and then, put the link in there to the opt-in so that database can go, they can go to your landing page and then get on your new list. And that way you don't have to import anything in. But just importing them over is kind of a violation of the trust. And it's just bad practice for permission marketing.
Okay, last question. I already have a newsletter that goes out every month. Do I still need a lead nurture system? That's from a chiropractor.
Yeah, hey, I have a real love for chiropractors, and you have to be, we work with chiropractors a lot, and the short answer is yes, you still need a lead nurture system, because your newsletter is not a lead nurture system. Your newsletter is a one-size-fits-all bulletin board that goes and gets blasted out largely to a bunch of people that didn't ask for it. So you have to, in a lot of cases, be careful of sending a newsletter because it's not specific and it's not unique. And a lot of times chiropractors get involved with these companies that are, chiropractic marketing companies, and they help chiropractors grow. And what they do is they write a bunch of content and then they sell that content to hundreds and hundreds of chiropractors. So the newsletter you're sending out this month is also being sent out by hundreds of chiropractors across the country. And even if they're not sending it out simultaneously, at least a group of them are. And then the next month, that same information goes out. So that might be varying it up a little bit. But a newsletter is not a lead nurture system. A lead nurture system takes a very specific, hyper-targeted niche, like a person suffering from fibromyalgia that opted into your free white paper on fibromyalgia. So you want to nurture them appropriately to the offer that they signed up to, versus somebody who's maybe interested in sports therapy or a sports injury. You'd want to nurture them differently. So a lead nurture system is very specific to the lead, and a newsletter is it's really just inbox fodder, and you may want to consider just dropping your newsletter entirely.
We have a few more questions about how to write an offer and about landing page videos, but we are truly out of time. So we'll have to answer those questions directly via email and post them on our Twitter feed. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we hope to hear from all of you again very, very soon. This is Sebastian Russ, creator of Buzz over at socialbuzztv.com, and Owen Hemsath from Simple Business Video Marketing saying farewell for now.
Thank you, everybody, for signing on. This is Owen with Simple Business Video Marketing. Check us out on Twitter, #Top5Tips, or @Owen Hemsath. Take care. We'll see you soon.